What's going on, boys? My name is Sid, and welcome back to a full and complete followers guide in the Crew 2. It's been a long time since I updated this, so this will include a few new things. Although some of the later methods are similar to the money methods, these are specifically catered for followers grinding, and I will teach you how to maximize leveling up in the Crew 2. Leveling up gets you exclusive vehicle rewards, icon points, meaning insane boosts, and thanks to this method, eventually hitting icon 9999. Head down there, subscribe with notifications on. It would be very much appreciated. But also, after this video, just check out one of my other videos. I do a bunch of content on the Crew 2, so one of the other things is probably going to suit your fancy. And if you're on the platforms, remember to follow my Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. All of those are linked in the description. The first segment here is the tips and tricks. These will apply to all of the methods and will help you around everywhere. These begin with, of course, get a few followers first, which once you have at least an amount, you can start putting those followers onto the icon points, the comfort menu specifically. This will allow you to have even more boosts. Essentially, it's like real life. The more success you have, the more successful you can be. God, that's kind of sad, actually. Oh. But yes, the more you make, the more you can make. And I do recommend, although it would be nice to have all of them on popular or rich or whatever you're grinding, always have the nitro ones fully maxed out down to drifty, and then the rest you can go ahead and just put on everything else. There we are. All the points on followers. And on top of that, you want to figure out how the part system works. So you guys already know that you get parts from events. Doing events, you get green, blue, purple, gold parts. And the gold parts not only come with the two affixes that boost whatever set ability those are, but they also come with a set bonus. You can see the fame magnet for this one. That is when every single part you have on a vehicle is that matching set bonus that will boost, using that, the entire car. And the one you want is fame magnet. I'm gonna give each individual set for each method, but overall, remember, fame magnet is the one you want. In fact, for completely maximizing followers, this set right here, a mixture of every single one having popular, extra pump, or popular pure. 4 to 3, pure to extra pump. Now, you cannot change the set bonus. You're just gonna have to get lucky. But the other two, you have to spend money and spare parts, the thing you get for scrapping parts, that and money to recalibrate, where you hold it, get a different percent of your current affix or a different affix, or keep the one you already have. You have to do this over and over again till you get the perfect affixes, which I've explained to you, popular and all, and then 4 to 3, pure to extra pump. This right here is the best tip I can give you, is maximize your parts. Also, another tip, this method right here, not the best anymore. I know people like this method and see this method as the followers method. It isn't anymore. They nerfed it into the ground. They had attempted to nerf it before, however, not as successful, but ever since the agency update, this method hasn't been the best at all. Far from it, in fact. You could still use it, but no, you would actively be earning less than you could doing anything else. So essentially, as a tip, that method, not part of this guide anymore. So to begin, the first one is the lazy method, which, you know what, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's rather new. It's way more improved than the same method was in my last guide, and that goes into the summit. Yes, you will have to get star first, so if you are lower than star level, go ahead and use the other methods first. But once you've done those other methods, start investing in the summit. You can go in here and every single summit, only by playing one event, you get 200,000 followers, 150,000 followers, 200,000, 150. On special events like Christmas, you'll get up to 1 million followers. But not only will every summit have the 200,000 and the 150,000 as the bronze, which yes, you only have to play one. I'm not talking play even a full event or play it good. You could just go into a speed trap, literally do the most terrible, stinky time ever. It just has to be best. You just have to get ranked, so like more than 60 miles an hour, I believe. And that will put you on the leaderboard. That will put you bronze. Everyone is at least bronze. And that's the followers. So then when you come back the next Wednesday, you'll be able to collect those followers and then go on to the next summit. But every single summit doesn't just have the 200,000 and the 150,000. Here's the thing. Like in next summit, for example, this event has 300,000 followers for this one event. And the other summit, this one, had 400,000 followers for this event. And these ones you don't have to wait for. These ones, you get those followers as soon as you do the summit. Although, yes, sometimes the vehicle required will be rather expensive. After this guide, you can check out my guides playlist, where I have all of my current guides, including the ones on how to make a lot of money. And how to get a bunch of free cars, too. But once you have all that money, you can use that money to buy cars to get events done where you're not only collecting the 150,000 from the last summit, but then doing 400,000 there and then for the summit you're in. It's truly just as simple as that. So as soon as you finish this event, you'll get the 400,000. So every single week, if you load on, play the one event that has the followers reward, you get either the 200,000 from last summit and then plus 300,000, or the 400,000 of that summit and plus 200,000 from the last. So 600,000 or 450,000 every single week, guaranteed. Truly, like, such a good method, really. It's a bit more of the long game, but you'll start really skyrocketing through the icons. Also, you do not have to complete the events, the one with the specific followers reward. You don't have to complete them in a really good way. Again, it's just play them, and then you'll get the reward. Now, the next method is the more simple stuff, where we just get into events, and also the stuff that'll seem a bit more familiar if you've been money grinding. First of all is the absolute best event in Street, which is Harlem West. You're going to want to do that in the Lamborghini Countach in Street, this one, the old one. And although you could use parts that look like this, where all of them are fame magnet with followers boost, which I explained in the tips and tricks segment, if you missed that, how these work, what you really want to do is use parts that look like this to absolutely maximize the speed at which you're gaining followers, because not only are you making very many followers, but you're also at the same time going very fast. However, of course, this will sacrifice a bit of money making. The event is Harlem West. In the menu, it is over here in Street, just past a few of the Motor Pass events, Harlem West. On the map, it is here in Higher Manhattan, in Harlem, over here at this parking garage. I'll show you one run of the event to show how it works. Here we are. Now, this is absolutely the best method in Street. If you only have a street car, feel free to use this very method, because this is where you'll start going up in the icons, you know, where you'll actually be doing the early ones. You unlock this race very quickly, and you don't have to level up a spec that you don't use or might not have. Let me try that again real quick to show you it a bit better. Other options to use car-wise are the Lamborghini Gallardo, which is a bit more stable. Even more than that, the Audi R8, again, nice cars, not as good as the Countach, but perhaps a little bit more stable. You want to cut through there like I did. You want to go through this area like that, and then you want to cut through these two trees. Then slam on the brakes at that segment so you can turn left, go right around this one. This one's fine. I cut through here, but apparently sometimes it's fine to not do that, you know, between the tree and the rock. Then here you always want to go and hold to the left. I always go off the left of the ramp, and going off the left is how I can consistently hit back on the road cleanly. I did go almost a bit too fast there, which would have been an issue. Obviously, don't nitro too much. And that is one whole lap. So, to skim over all the cuts, a grass cut here on the second lap, cutting through all the grass over here, like that, sorted, and then going through these two trees here. Of course, slam on the brakes to go around. You can cut through like I cut through, but the other option is to do that, which, yeah, looks like it's also fine. Round this corner, hold hard left so that you can get consistently onto the road again. After doing the summit every week, which you should be doing, right? That goes on top of all of the other ones. That is the third best way to gain followers in the Crew 2. The next method is the boat method. This is slightly better than Harlem West. It is, well, definitively better than Harlem West, but obviously you have to buy and own and level up and fully upgrade a boat. And the boat that you want to buy is the Froscher 1414 Demon, not just for this method, but it's just the best boat in the spec regardless. And again, although you could use parts that look like this with both followers and bucks, this is of course what you want the set to actually look like. Now this method is here in Pro Racing Powerboat, and it's the first event. Of course, like Street, you want to play this event on Ace, and this method right here, which I'm going to run through, is by far my favorite method for doing something else while playing. Whether it's YouTube, Netflix, a Sidwatch video, or the Stick Drift podcast, link in description. A podcast for all things car culture, racing games, and motorsports, out every single week with the latest things. You may only just be into gaming when you play the Crew 2, but consider, hey, cars are kind of cool as well. Maybe I should get into them more. Check out the Stick Drift podcast. We talk all the news on cars, as well as car games and motorsports. So give it a look. It's me and my mate Josh. The link is in the description. But yeah, you can watch that, listen to that, watch a movie, watch whatever, because this one is very, very simple to do with your mind off. I really like this one for that. You go to the right of that, you cut through the center there and go to the left here. You should be able to go to the left of that. Oh, let me try that again. How have I done that twice now? Come on. Here we go. So, here's how you do this event. First and foremost, you go to the right of this one. Obviously, just gives you a little bit less room to travel. Over here, you go to the left of this. The Froscher's a beefy boat. There, the left. Then you cut in, and you just kind of, I don't know, you just go through these. There's probably a specific way, but it doesn't really matter. Then again, you know, you can go tight here a little bit. You can go to the left of this next one. And a slightly weird one. You don't have to do this one every time because it's like, you know, it's kind of a weird one. You can go to the right of this one. There you go. You see, it's not that hard. And then, remember, when you get to the dam, you want to point downwards until before you hit. Because you don't want to submarine. You want to start leaning back before you get, like, any close to it. Then, of course, simply just go through the rocks. And then, of course, simply you go to the left of this one. And a bit less simply, this next little area, you cut in between these two things here. And then go through here. Simple as that. That's a whole run. You can do that very, very quickly. Look at that. 1 minute 50 to 18. My best is 1 minute 13. You can average that at like a 1 minute 16. It's very, very good for followers. Much better than, well, better, definitively, than a Harlem West. And, you know, other than using the Summit, probably the easiest actual active method. Because the Summit, you have to, you know, do the whatever, and you have to go on every week and whatever. But actually playing, this is probably my favorite method. But the last method is, we all know it. Well, it is high speed takedown. You want to use the Bugatti Chiron interception unit. It is buyable now. Use this car with these parts, of course, so you have actual speed. And the event is high speed takedown, which is in Hypercar. Over here at high speed takedown is this one. Don't play this one on Ace. Never play this one on Ace. This one should always be set to normal, because the only thing Ace, all of those change, is add more targets for you to defeat. The less targets, the better, and it cancels out, because yes, you make less money, but there's way less target. The way I play it, I've heard that you can go for the first guy. I just never do. I prefer actually building up the momentum, but this one is by far the best. It's the best for money as well. You know, if you like this event, you kind of have to think a bit more though, which is always pretty stinky. But as you, oh, and then you get stuff like that, which is always really annoying. You got to stay up to like 210, 220 miles an hour is the magic you will defeat them instantly number. And then, yeah, it's as simple as that. It's also one of those ones where you really have to go over and over and over and over again. You probably could, if you're slightly more experienced with the event, watch something while you do it. Of course, the Stick Drift podcast, the link is in the description. But it works, and it's definitively the best. If someone tells you anything other than this is the best for money, check the Sidwatch channel, because I will probably have an update an updated guide out if there actually was anything better. But no. Until then, the high-speed takedown is the best for both money and followers. And it truly is as simple as that. 8 taken out. And of course, this one can be a little inconsistent because sometimes you could not hit them, sometimes you could miss them, whatever, right? There's a bunch of things that can happen. But yes, definitively the best on average. That's a tested number too. It's quite a lot more. You can see my Bucks guide for the actual numbers on the money side of that. And of course, the followers side would follow a similar... It would follow a similar trend. God, that was terrible, actually. But yes, that's gonna be about it from me, boys. Thank you to popular members, especially thank you to famous members, and an insane thank you to star members Danimal the Manimal, TK Troller, and Grim Pepper. Hey, look at those guys getting followers. Except replace the followers with giving me money. Become a member. It's one of the best ways I'm able to keep this whole thing running. That's gonna be about it from me in a bit.